So in the last video, we discussed how, one small mistake got me $7,200 Canadian dollar as a chargeback. With that one small mistake, a mistake that started with one unanswered question where I did not wait for the answer, a mistake that led to a denied boarding, a mistake that led to an investigation, a mistake that led to a chargeback. At the same time, I also spoke about another chargeback incident of my team member. And today, I want to talk about something very different. Like after all of this happened with us, with me and my team member both. Because surprisingly, the chargeback wasn't the hardest part for both of us. The hardest part was what came afterwards, after the chargeback. After we were told that this is what the amount will be charged to you, to your invoices, and you are the one who's responsible to pay for it. Because we knew the mistake was ours. And once you know the amount, once you know the consequences, you only have two options. Either you run away, or today, I would like to tell you why I stayed, why we did not run away. Even my friend did not run away. We stayed and we owned the mistake and why. So let's begin. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, to your channel rather, Dreamport Journey with Arpita, and this is your host. And this brings us to the final series, the final episode of the chargeback, so that you all know exactly, we already have covered why it happened, how it happened, what was the issue, and now we come down to the last point of what afterwards. Arpita, you got chargeback 5, but what afterwards? Why did you not quit? Why did you stay? So that's what we are, exploring now. Now, what happened was the moment when I saw the chargeback, the moment the amount was disclosed to me that this is the amount that you would be, paying up as a chargeback. Honestly, when I first saw, like I said, I did not act. Not because, I was strong or I was mentally prepared that, okay, I made an error or something, or I'm built of steel that it would not affect, nothing of that sort. It was just that, when I saw the amount, I still remember I was numb. I wasn't numb because I made a mistake. And, because at that point in time, I didn't even know what to think, how to think, what to say, how to say. Because I remember staring at the screen, trying to understand what had just happened. Because I remember that month I was looking, I had already crossed about $15,000 GP, gross profit, June. But at the same time, I was guilty because the family was supposed to leave on the 27th of June and they did not leave until the 4th of July because that's where we eventually got them the ticket. So at 1 minute, I was happy that I had reached the highest GP of my, Dreamport career. Like I was already eyeing at $16,000 GP. I had already, clocked in, and there were 4 more sales which I was waiting for. So I was hoping that I'll be closing it at a much higher, this thing. And the second minute, it was the chargeback. So I was like, what had just happened? The entire half GP is reduced because I'm supposed to pay it back. Because until then, I did not even know that would be taken from the GP because for my friend, it was the net. So I was assuming maybe it is the net. And, I was just thinking that how that one booking which I made months ago suddenly became this, how that one such a nice conversation turned into this. And the amount, of course, 7,200, I was shocked. Not because I didn't know mistakes have consequences, but because I never imagined a consequences this large for that minor error of not taking a yes from the customer. By this month, like I said, by this point, 7 months had already passed. I was already making sales. I was already building return customers. I was already seeing results. And suddenly something from early days had come back. In fact, if you remember, I had also told you that, I was a top performing agent as well. So I don't know if you all can see it properly or not, but if you see, I used to always get this email. Congratulations, you have reached 5,000, 5,000, 10,000, all of these. And these were all my high months because I was the top performing agent consecutively for 16 months. Every single month I was a top performing agent, and of that 7 months I've already covered, and I was a top performing agent, and then this chargeback. Anyway, moving forward, now the biggest question was, did I think about quitting? If I say no, I would be lying. Of course, yes, any human would think, because why would you want to pay 7,200? That's a bomb, So of course, yes, I did. But the interesting part here is that, I did not want to quit because of the chargeback. I was ready to pay, from, because I'd already made that much. And like I said, I'd already seen great invoices. So I was okay to pay. I only wanted to quit because I felt disappointment in myself. Sometimes we agents, we go through so much and there is nobody who can, understand what we are going through at that one point in time. Maybe certain times we make certain decisions, not because, we are genuinely wanting to do a wrong decision, but because we are so overwhelmed with so many things around, maybe with our personal lives around, we end up making the mistakes. I actually kept replaying everything, the booking, the calls, the investigation, the recording, and I kept thinking, how did I miss this? How did I allow this to happen? Because, that was very difficult for me to digest. Even right now, although it's been 2 years now, I am still trying to, digest that, why this happened. But anyway, and then the conversation that changed everything. A few days later, I spoke to my advisors. And again, I would like to give a big shout out to my advisors, Ocean and Kingston both, because they were literally there. They knew my potential. They knew what I can bring to the table. And of course, I was in my lowest period because of the chargeback had happened. And honestly, like I said, this is one of the reasons why I will always be grateful to them and grateful to this platform as well. I have always been telling in my videos that people out here are quite helpful. The only thing is you need to understand how to seek help and when to seek help and how to ask for it, right? My advisors, they did not sit there judging me. They were not telling me that, I made a mistake or, I should have been more responsible. I should have done this. I should have done that. No, rather they reminded me of something very, very important. They made me understand that, Arpita, this one mistake cannot define your entire journey, what you've been doing here at Dreamport, right? And I think that statement from Kingston changed my entire perspective because they knew something I wasn't focusing on. They knew the bigger picture. And I think, in fact, they chipped in. If you actually go back to those screenshots, you would see I was only asked to pay $6,200. The $1,000, my advisor Ocean and my senior advisor Kingston, they chipped in. So, they also gave me that leeway as well, that since it's a bigger amount, let's just do it this way. So, I think that emotional cord that stuck with me because then I could see the bigger picture. Now, because by then I wasn't the same person who had joined this platform months earlier. I had actually already built a customer base. I had seen larger invoices. I had seen return customers. I had seen reference customers because if you'll go back to my videos, I have got return referrals in the 3 months and in 3 days itself. So, for me, everything was just building up. I was going in a direction where I was building my business, and this is one of the reasons why I keep telling that if you treat Dreamport as your business, trust me, you will never even think of quitting, whether there's a chargeback, whether there is no sale, you will never do that. Why? We will continue this in little later. So if you see, I had already started getting the return customers, the referrals, and in fact, the same customer had also referred multiple people. If you'll remember the first video of the chargeback story, I had already booked 3 of his friends and a student as well. And that's where it made me realize something, that I wasn't actually losing a business. I was only facing a setback in the business, and those are two very different things. Now tell me one thing, I'm sure each one of us would have somebody or other in our family, in our friend circle who would be, running their businesses. Now what do you do when you face a major setback or a loss in your business? Do you shut your shop? No, right? Do you run away? No, right? Rather, you find a way that how you can recover that loss and how you can sustain and how you can, touch the break even, or how you can grow your business. And that's exactly what I did, because by now I was no longer an agent. I was rather, a business owner. I was building my own travel business here. And that's the time when my friend had got the chargeback as well. And like I said, when she received the chargeback, now you see, for me, I had a reason to stay back because I had seen returns, I had seen referrals, I had seen bigger invoices, because for me, $2,000 invoice came in the second month itself. So I had seen the larger part of it. But my friend, she had not yet seen any of those, because I think her maximum invoice had gone to about $700. That's the maximum that she has earned from this platform until the time that she was here. Right now, of course, she is no longer here because she is on maternity leave and she might rejoin at a later date. But, still, when her chargeback happened, she stayed. And I only asked her, I said, why are you not quitting? Then she said, because in these months, although I may have not seen, huge invoice, but I see a lot of people. I see the trust that customers have on us. And I know that if I stay here longer, I'll be able to make more businesses. And the thing is, I have made this mistake because I was genuinely so overwhelmed in that conversation that by mistakenly, I had actually pitched the wrong product. So if I have pitched the wrong product, I should be the one who's responsible for paying. So you see, her story gave me another reasons to stay, because if somebody who's not even seen a higher invoice, if they are willing to stay, why am I going to quit them? Because I have already seen a larger, face of it. And in fact, she accepted the mistake. She stayed, she owned it, she learned from it, and then she continued. And like I said, that taught me something important, that people who grow aren't the people who never make mistakes, but they are the people who stay after the mistake. And I think that is what the customers who changed everything for us. Now, what has happened? Now, you must be thinking, Arpita, what happened to this customer? Of course, they did take the flight on the 2nd of July and I got the chargeback. But then what happened to this customer? Now, what happened was something very nice happened, which I never expected. So I think once the family reached Africa, I think on the 4th of July, on 8th of July, got a call again from this customer, and he told me, Arpita, are you okay now? I said, yeah, I'm okay. And the first thing that he told me, are you feeling guilty of yourself? I had the reason to say either yes or no, but I did not say anything. I was just silent. And he told me, Arpita, let me tell you one thing. Mistakes happen. You are human, I am human, and I know I also played a role in this too. And then he said something very, very surprising. He told me, you don't need to worry. We are not going anywhere. We will always be Arpita's customer. No matter how many times I'm going to travel, it will always be Arpita whom I will be contacting you. I know you made a mistake, but the best part is you owned it, you stayed with it, and you did not leave us midway, which technically other agents do, but you have not done it. All this while, even when I was yelling at you, I was shouting on you, I was, so pissed at you, my wife was doing the same thing, but yet you stayed with us. For even a moment, when you realized it was your mistake, you were the one who picked up the phone and you told me that, yes, I made an error and it's my mistake, so we will be issuing you new tickets and we were not asked to pay. And I think that is what it stayed with him. And that was the biggest lesson, that eventually I actually learned here. Because looking back today, I think most people, they misunderstand accountability. Because I feel, they always feel that, okay, it's the dream coach mistake. I mean, it's the ASAP Tickets mistake. Why should I pay for it? They are anyway not paying me a fixed salary. I'm only on commission. Why should I be charged for it? They should be paying it. They should be doing it. And that's how you have people writing on other platforms that, they give you chargeback or anything. But they will never talk about their accountability. And I think because people think that accountability means punishment, but I don't think that way. I think accountability means ownership, because the moment I accepted the mistake, everything became easier. Not financially, mentally, because I stopped fighting the reality first thing. I stopped looking for excuses second thing. I stopped blaming circumstances third thing. I accepted it fourth. I learned from it fifth, and then I moved forward. And that's exactly when this customer called me and he gave me this thing. He told me all of these things. I immediately told my friend, what about your customer? She said, I am still feeling guilty. Like, I don't want to call her because I don't know how she will react. I just told her, maybe just give it a chance. And then she did the exact same thing. She called her customer and, she apologized that whatever has happened. The customer understood. She forgave. She came back to her. And that's what I want to tell you, that, even if you make a mistake, customer can always forgive you, but only if you own the mistake. If you do not own the mistake, if you keep denying, if you keep telling, no, it was you did not do, this is the circumstances, blah, blah, everything, or if you just disappear, imagine one thing, the customer does not know your advisor, customer does not know your, senior advisor, they don't know the customer service, they don't know the airline, they don't know anybody. For them, you are the face of the company. And when you give them such behavior, when you treat them in such a manner, they start writing negative about the company. And that's where when people say that, oh, we saw, customers are also not happy with your platform. But it's not that. It's the agent like us who always have a choice either to stay or to run away. If you stay, you give a good business to them, you give a good service to them, they come back to you. And I think why this changed my entire thinking was because, before that chargeback, I was always thinking like an agent. But after the chargeback, I started thinking like a business owner, because business owners understand something very, very important. Losses can happen, mistakes can happen, problems can happen. But the larger picture is, the question is something, that they never ask is, will something go wrong? The question is, what will you do when something actually goes wrong? And that was the moment, my thinking completely changed. And that's why, when people, they look at the invoices, they often think that that's the real journey. Actually, if you ask me, it is not. The real journey is what happens when things go wrong. Like I said, remember, the sale always starts after the booking is done, because anyone can stay when everything is working. But the real test is whether you stay when it is not working for you. And looking back today, trust me, I am grateful I stayed here, not because of the money, not because of the commissions, not because of the chargeback, because I have also shown you my slow month invoices as well, as far as the higher month invoices as well. I've also shown you the chargeback. So it has nothing to do with invoices, because that experience taught me how businesses are really built. So, and that's exactly what we are going to talk about the next thing, because at some point in time, this journey will stop being about just selling the tickets, and rather it starts becoming, something about building something much bigger, maybe building your businesses together with the customers. You never know what all you can build by this one simple platform, which right now you are, saying that, oh, they are not paying for the training and everything, but you never know how this platform can actually help you. So I would only say one thing: stop thinking like an agent and start thinking like an owner. And that's exactly where we are going to head next. So thank you so much for watching my video. Please like, share, comment and subscribe, and we'll meet again now in series 5. Thank you.